We'll call to order this meeting for Monday, December 23rd. Jordan, would you start us off with the roll call, please?
Please respond by stating present. Councilmember Ronayne.
Present.
Foberg.
Present.
Liebelt.
Present.
Ward. Councilmember Ward. I think I heard you. Johnson.
Present.
Reinbold.
Present.
Langer. Norvstrup.
Present.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Take a motion to approve this week's agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Liebelt, second Reinbold. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed,
Aye.
nay. Motion carries. Next is the approval of our minutes from the last meeting. I'm aware that that there was a small correction to be made. I was not there to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, so Lieutenant Mayor Alan Johnson did that. So that adjustment will be made, but otherwise, I think that everything is in order. I would take a motion to approve the minutes with that adjustment.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Reinbold, second from Johnson. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. No one has signed up for the open forum when I rolled in, so we will move along to our consent calendar where we've got a number of different items, including a public hearing date for transfers of alcohol and video licenses, a special one-day alcohol public hearing, lottery notice for the Pet Rescue League and the Hub City soccer programs, city license renewals for a few groups, taxi cab licenses. And Jordan, explain what was going on with the taxi cab license.
So the council, or excuse me, we distributed the packet on Thursday, including one license for Aberdeen Shuttle. But on Friday, we amended the agenda to include Aberdeen Shuttle and Safety Shuttle, both as separate license applications within this packet.
Thank you. As well as in-home daycare license renewal and reports and minutes from a variety of our city boards. Someone care to make a motion on our consent calendar items listed below?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Does anyone have anything to discuss on any of these items? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. 4 items of old business. The first is a possible approval of ordinance 24-1205, which amends cable television franchise agreement with Midco TV to delete in-kind services. This was a change that was a little while in the making, but I think we'd all received information, and presumably you guys had a good discussion about it last week. Ron, anything new?
No, Mr. Mayor, I received no comments in the last week, so we just recommend approval of the second reading and final passage of the ordinance.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Liebelt, second Reinbold. Anyone have anything before we take a second reading vote? Jordan, would you give us the roll call vote on that then, please?
Councilmember Ronayne.
Aye.
Foberg.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Langer.
Aye.
Norvstrup.
Aye.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Aye, motion carries. Second, we've got the possible second reading, ordinance 24-1202, which supplements the budget from this year, 2024, to appropriate funds for various unanticipated projects. Jordan, anything changed since the first reading?
There are no changes since first reading, and staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Johnson, second Ronayne. Anyone have anything on this before we take the vote on the final reading? Jordan?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Langer.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ward. Liebelt.
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Third, item of old business is a possible second reading and final adoption of an ordinance titled 24-1206. Similar to the last one, supplements to 2024 budget for this time Parks, Rec, and Forestry activities. Jordan, anything to be concerned about with this one?
There are no changes since first reading and staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt, second from Councilman Norvstrup. Anyone from the council have any final words on this final adoption, second reading? Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote then, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Finally, last item of old business is our second reading of an ordinance 24-1203. This is a possible approval of a rezone from residential 1 to municipal property located at 2002 5th Street North. This is the former Presentation College North Suites on the northwest side of the campus, and it has been sold to the Aberdeen Housing Authority. Ken, anything on this?
There have been no changes since first reading. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson, second from Councilman Ronayne. Can we have an idea of the timeline on this project of redevelopment for these properties?
I think in talking to Brett as soon as possible, but I think I saw something recently, maybe an interview with the paper, that they were looking for spring or summer of next year.
This upcoming year, 2025.
Yep.
Well, that'd be good. Much needed. Glad that that went through. Okay, Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote then on that rezone?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward, Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Moving along to our new business segment of this meeting. The first thing that we've got is a public hearing and possible approval of Resolution 23-12-05, which authorizes an application for financial assistance, authorizing the execution, submittal, and application, designating an authorized representative to certify and sign payment requests. Robin, what can you tell us about that?
I think we'll have Jordan take this.
Sure. As part of the issuance for, or rather the application for state revolving loan funds, we are required to have a hearing to discuss that. We're joined today by Leslie Ann Palmer from NECOG, the Northeast Council of Governments. She'll kind of walk us through the financial side of things. We are submitting an application of roughly $30 million. This is part of the financing for our water rec plant. We have roughly $55 million in place. The project is somewhere around 96 to 98 million. And this is the first step in getting us additional funding to bring that project into completion. So I will pass this on to Leslie Ann at this time, and she'll be able to speak more to the topic.
Good evening. Yep, as Jordan explained, the application is to request $30 million through DANR. As of right now, there's a lot of unknowns with DANR. They are currently in discussions with them. They're able to guarantee $15 million, but we're asking for $30 million just in case they have extra. The reason we're doing this now is because there is a funding shortfall of about $48 million between construction costs increasing and just wanting to have extra contingency for a remodel. The $30 million at a 5% interest rate would require possible surcharges of $18.59 if the whole amount was allocated. But since we're 100% sure we're not going to have the whole $30 million allocated, we know that they probably won't be that. We have to do a public hearing, so that way it gives opportunity for comments. One item of note is DANR did say that there is concerns with increasing rates that much, especially with the cost of the project. And so they're willing to work with Aberdeen, however you want to restructure your rates, because they know that you'll guarantee the payments. So if you don't want to do the surcharge, if you want to do it differently, it's entirely up to you as to how you want to do that.
Thank you, Leslie, and appreciate your insight into that. But Jordan, so the rates that we had most recently discussed based on Banner's recommendations should cover this financing as well?
Correct. Excuse me. The financing in place to get us to that completed project number of roughly 95 to 96 million is within the rates that are discussed and contemplated within the plan. If we have to seek funding that's not SRF loans, that would mean potentially higher interest rates, which could mean higher rates. So best case scenario, the funding will all come through various iterations of SRF loans. This is the first of 2 or 3 additional asks that will come before the council. The State Water Board meets in January. This application is part of that meeting.
They'll review it in March, and then they'll make recommendations based on the loan amount as to what they would recommend the surcharge be. But that's entirely up to Aberdeen how you want to work the rates. So if you want to change it to what you're working with Banner on, that's up to you. Another thing to note too is interest rates. We chose a worst case scenario. DANR said that they probably wouldn't be at 5, but we went off of 5 just because we wanted to. We'd rather have it lower. You know, I put 4% in there. He said it would probably be around there, 3.75 to 4.25. So that would be a lower surcharge itself of 16.53 for that loan.
So, from a technical standpoint, what happens if DANR comes back and says we aren't going to fund $30 million? Do we just get another crack at it down the road? It sounds as though.
Yep, we in discussions with DANR, they recommended October would be another good time. Their funding for SRF projects is limited this year. After all the ARPA money, that's all kind of gone. So they're looking at alternatives to make sure that Aberdeen's taken care of. But it might require, like Jordan said, probably 2 more applications after this one. We'll know more in March.
Sure. Jordan, anything that you want to add to the conversation or questions that we might have that we aren't thinking of?
So, I would add that, this project will start in 2026. The first $23 million will be ARPA federal expenditures. We can't use it for engineering, but once we hit construction, that will be the first $23 million. After that, we'll dip into the $32 million, which was Clean Water 4. What we're talking about is Clean Water 5 will be the next $15 million, or whatever we're able to secure in SRF funding. We are pretty confident that should be enough to get us through calendar year 2025.
And then by then we'll have a couple more cracks at getting loan funds. And who knows where interest rates go too.
Right. They might be more beneficial at that stage of the game.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions from the council for Ms. Palmer?
I do have one.
Go ahead,
If I
Councilman.
may, so the 1859 that you're showing, that assumes a $30 million loan that you don't think we'll get.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We kind of, we're shooting for the moon, but we're probably going to get maybe.
No, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Anything else from the council? Oh, Justin, what have you got?
The interest rates, are they locked in once we sign something, or are they
They will be locked in at DNR's meeting in March.
okay
So.
for 1 year?
The interest rate will be locked in for the loan itself. Once Aberdeen starts drawing on the loan, that's when you start to accrue interest. So you won't accrue any interest. Like the ARPA funds are used first, and then we'll use Clean Water number 4. And once we start dipping into that, interest will only be charged as you use it. And then once we start dipping into 5, again, interest will only accrue as you use it.
In that meeting in October, will they be setting a different interest rate then? Okay,
Yeah.
for
They're doing it
consecutive
quarterly.
loans? Okay,
So,
thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Robin, anything?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, thank you
Very
for
good
joining
summary.
us, Leslie, and I appreciate that information. Good stuff. Would someone care to make a motion on the resolution itself?
Move to approve the resolution.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Any final questions before we take a vote? Anyone else here to speak? All right, Jordan.
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you for joining us, Lesley-Ann. Appreciate that. Next, we've got a possible approval of another resolution. It's 24-1203R, which approves the obligation of state and local fiscal recovery funds for the water reclamation facility improvements, Phase 1. Jordan?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution is intended to clearly commit and obligate our intent to expend ARPA funds on the water reclamation plant project. Part of the ARPA program is that you must commit the funds by December 31st. We've committed $5 million to date. We've reported that we've committed 5.1. This resolution clarifies that we are committing the 5.1 that was within this resolution. There's a slight difference because we were originally awarded $5 million back in 2021. The previous city manager had intended to use the balance that was due to other municipalities or units of government not claiming their ARPA funds, so we got an extra tranche. This commits that to the water reclamation project. From our perspective, this has been our intent all along. This clarifies it, commits it, and obligates it for that purpose. We're confident that the action that we've taken to sign contracts would also prove our obligation, but this puts it in the minutes, makes it clear as day. That's our intent. This is what we're doing. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Jordan.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson, a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this resolution? All right, Jordan.
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next is our third resolution of the night. It dissolves the tax increment financing district, titled number 18. Jordan?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a second. TIF 18 is the TIF that is described as Arbor Springs. It's in the northeast corner of town, and it took what was once a trailer park and it converted it into senior housing. It redid Arbor Lane, I believe is the street name. Most importantly, the base value for this property was roughly $770,000. The TIF plan contemplated a valuation of $3.1 million at maturity, and the current valuation for TIF 18 is $6.4 million. It paid off earlier than anticipated because the valuations came in higher and continue to increase over the life of the TIF. This dissolves TIF as we're required to do by resolution and allows us to disperse the TIF proceeds to the taxing entities. Because it matured in November, we received additional increment and this pays it out.
Thank you for that explanation. Jordan, I appreciate that. When was this TIF created?
March of 2013.
2013. Okay, thank you. Someone care to make a motion on that resolution?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Any other questions about this? Okay, Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote then, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got a public hearing and first reading of an ordinance, 24-1204, which rezones from residential 2 to municipal. These are three properties, 2200, 2240, and 2302 Roosevelt Street South, which are essentially the Aberdeen Central High School and surrounding areas. Ken, what can you tell us about that rezoning process?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. The Aberdeen School District is requesting this petition to rezone to Municipal, State, and County Use District in order to bring the property into a zoning district consistent with its use as a public educational institution. The designation will streamline the zoning requirements and process for approving any future activities, uses, or expansion or improvements to the campus, and it was unanimously approved by the Planning Commission on December 17th, 2024. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Reinbold, second Johnson. What was with the timing on this one, Ken? It seems like it's been a while that property has been in its existing.
It was, the school district approached us about some permitting on some projects, and normally, with these schools, with them being residentially zoned, you know, it leads to all sorts of, zoning changes, variances, special exceptions, appeals that we would have to grant to approve this. This is the streamlining portion where it allows them to do anything in the interest of the school district with approval by the city.
Thank you for that clarification, Ken. I appreciate that. We've got our motion and our second. Does anyone have any further questions? All right. Jordan, would you give us a roll call on that first reading?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Fauberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next is the possible approval to request to declare unpaid balances for our fire department to write off those balances for ambulance services. Chief Joel Weig is here with us today. Joel, what can you tell us about those write-offs and how does it look?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Once a year, our EMS billing specialist compiles a list of uncollectible ambulance accounts. This year, after vigorous collection attempts, it's determined that $248,012.79 of ambulance accounts have been determined uncollectible. $25,945.51 of that are determined that we have no recourse on, and that's because of deaths of the patient, small amounts, or Medicaid limitations for the accounts. The remaining balance of $222,067.28 would be turned over to a collection agency for further collection. If there are any of those accounts that are collected, they would be submitted to the city finance and be submitted under miscellaneous revenue for the city.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Chief, can you tell us roughly how does this compare with previous years'
Sure.
write-offs?
Absolutely. So this year, like I said, was $248,000 approximately. Last year was $211,000. In 2022 was $385,000, and in 2021 it was $244,000. So in the ballpark, it's been in the past 5 years.
What is the arrangement with the debt collector? Is this split revenue situation, or do they get a flat fee for doing the work, or how does it work when the collector is after this?
Sure, they get a percentage, of course, and they get, and I can't tell you what the percentage is off the top of my head. However, I can tell you that when we switched to Advanced Asset Alliance collection service in 2022 was the first year that we switched with them. In that time, our average has been 7% of the returns, or the 7% of the amounts that we turned over to Allied. They were able to return that back to us. And in 2022 thus far, we've received 13% of those back. In 23's amount, we've received 8%. And then thus far in 2024, we received 2%.
Okay.
So an average of 7% thus far.
Thank you. Chief, would someone care to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Liebelt, second Northrup. Any questions, any additional questions that anyone might have for the fire chief? All right. Jordan?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Nordstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks for joining us, Joel.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, we've got a possible approval of a sale of concrete and asphalt from north and south dump sites to Lean Transportation in the amount of $27,557. Ron has some clarification about the stature of this motion in general. So, Ron, why don't you run us through that?
Thank you, Mayor Shoneman. This was one of those rare situations where we got the cart before the horse, and we forgot to surplus these items before we actually did the notice of advertisements for bids and got that process going. But as I read the statutes, we are following, for purposes of sale, the statutory process. So as part of this motion to approve the bid award, we first ask that the council surplus these reclaimed piles of concrete and asphalt, and then approve the notice of or the award to Lean Transportation. Just so you're aware, it was on December 2nd that we actually included the advertisement for bids in the council action, or in the consent calendar for the council at that time. We should have had the surplus at that time as well, but we're okay. We're fine. We'll just surplus it now and then do the bid award at the same time.
So I move to surplus the piles of concrete and asphalt, and that we approve the sale in the amount of $27,557.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Johnson on this two-part motion. First to surplus and second to sell these assets. And so no one else would have learned about this had we surplused it at that time. I mean, there's no reasonable reason to think that this would have been a different process had in terms of the bid itself or anything.
Absolutely. The process was exactly the same. This was published in the newspaper 2 times as required by law. We received bids, sealed bids as per the advertisement. So the only thing we're changing here is we're adding in the surplus. We need to do that for auditing purposes, make sure we've got that cleared. So there's no substantive effect on what's happening here.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for that clarification. If there's nothing else from the council, Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote?
Councilmember Nordstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Moving along, we have our review and approval of our claims and payroll. The bills this week, of course, and then the payroll is for the pay period December 15th through the 28th, as well as the taxes associated with that. I would take a motion to pay the bills.
Moved.
I'll second that.
Motion Johnson, second Liebelt. Jordan, would you give us a final roll call vote of the evening?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Nordstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
I will abstain, but the motion does carry. Next, we've got our city manager's report. Go ahead, Robin.
Thank you, Mayor. There were an awful lot of school programs this past week, and I saw a number of people at them. We also had a ribbon cutting for the sledding hill, and the mayor was there. He spoke at it. Had a nice turnout. It was a project that was put together by the Chamber's leadership class, and Parks and Rec is moving forward with things. We received the snowmaking machine shortly before that ribbon cutting, and they did have that. They were testing the equipment last week to see how things are going. One thing to note, they will make snow when the conditions are right. Right now, the temperatures have to be below 24 and a low humidity to have it work correctly. When they're trying it at higher humidity, it doesn't work right, and they're not making good snow. They're making sticky snow at that point. So if you're wondering why they're not making snow when they need to, it's probably because the conditions aren't quite right for doing it. So just they do have criteria. They'll work with that, try to make it a good thing. We did have a meeting with the Corps of Engineers via Zoom last week to go through some things. FEMA is going to be doing a flood mapping, a new flood mapping for Aberdeen again. I think this is probably the 5th one since Stu and I have been involved with it. Right now, the map needs to have the levee certified again. And with that, there's a process. With every federal program, there's a process. So we have to follow that. This will go on for a couple of years, it looks like, and we are working our way through that to see how we're going to get there. But that's the process we're in right now. It will be through the Corps to help FEMA with their determinations on how it'll work. We did do 3. We had 3 potlucks on Wednesday. I'm still not recovered from that. And we had another one on Thursday up on 3rd floor on City Hall. So we had plenty of potlucks this past week. And we did 3 certificates of appreciation. One for Derek Cleveland over in Parks and Rec. One for Josh Waltman in Parks and Rec for 10 years. And one for Stu for 25 years. And this is his kind of second go-around, so he's actually got in how many years, Stu?
28 altogether.
28 altogether. So congratulations to those 3, and look forward to another 25 years from Stu.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Stu, and also congratulations to Derek and to Josh for those milestones hit. Congratulations to you. I'm not sure if you're sharing that information or not, so maybe I'll not.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Our illustrious city manager was married, so that was week before last.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now. Yep.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Married.
Yeah,
that's right.
You were
it's
still
going great. So far, it's going great.
Right. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, if there's nothing else, I would take a motion.
Mr. Mayor?
Oh, go ahead, Councilwoman Foberg.
Sorry, I forgot to add the abstention for Dakota Bank for the $150 payment.
Take note of that, Jordan. And with that, I would take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn until 2025.
There we go. It's like when